The Ship of Fools. Episode 110. The Girl on the Ghost Ship. The Shadow Quest drifted through an uncharted stretch of space, its hull reflecting the pale shimmer of a distant nebula. Inside, the crew enjoyed a rare moment of calm. Snipes was attempting to teach Aurora how to play a card game she already understood better than he did. Banning was reviewing mission logs, and Moxie sat at the viewport, watching the stars slide past like slow-moving sparks. The peace shattered when Aurora's AI voice cut through the room, low and urgent. "Commander, I am detecting a vessel." Banning straightened. "What kind of vessel?" Aurora hesitated. "It appears to be derelict." Moxie turned from the window. "How close?" Aurora projected a hologram of a massive ship drifting silently through the void. Its hull was scarred and pitted, its lights long dead. The vessel looked ancient, older than any design Moxie recognized, yet its silhouette carried a strange familiarity, as though she had seen it once in a dream. "It's broadcasting no signal," Aurora said. "No life signs, no power, no identification." Snipes squinted at the hologram. "Looks haunted." Banning shot him a look. "Ships aren't haunted." Snipes pointed at the projection. "I bet that one is." Moxie felt a chill crawl up her spine. Something about the ship tugged at her, a faint whisper at the edge of memory. She stood. "I'll take a shuttle and board it." Banning frowned. "We should all go." Moxie shook her head. "If it's unstable, I don't want the whole crew at risk. I'll check it out first." Snipes raised his hand. "Can I come?" "No," Moxie and Banning said in unison. Snipes slumped. "I never get to go on the creepy missions." Moxie grabbed her gear and headed for the airlock. As the shuttle detached and drifted toward the silent vessel, she felt the weight of the unknown settle around her like a cold fog. The derelict ship loomed larger as she approached, its hull covered in strange markings that looked almost like scars. The docking bay doors were half open, frozen in place. Moxie maneuvered the shuttle inside and stepped out into a cavernous hangar filled with drifting dust motes and the faint echo of her own footsteps. Her flashlight beam cut through the darkness, illuminating abandoned crates, overturned equipment, and a long smear of something dark across the floor. She crouched, touching the smear with gloved fingers. It was old, centuries old, but the shape of it suggested something had been dragged. She whispered, "What happened here?" The ship answered with silence. She moved deeper into the vessel, her footsteps echoing down long, empty corridors. The air felt heavy, as though the ship were holding its breath. Every so often, she caught a flicker of movement in the corner of her eye, but when she turned, nothing was there. Her comm crackled. "Moxie?" Banning's voice sounded distant, distorted. "Status?" "I'm inside," she said. "No signs of life. But something feels wrong." Snipes' voice cut in. "Do you see any ghosts?" "Snipes," Banning snapped. "Stop saying ghosts." "I'm just asking." Moxie continued forward, her light sweeping across walls covered in faded murals, scenes of a crew smiling, working, celebrating. The images grew darker as she progressed, faces twisted in fear, figures running, shadows looming behind them. She reached a sealed door. As she approached, it slid open with a groan, though the ship had no power. Moxie froze. "That's not possible," she whispered. The room beyond was a command deck. Consoles flickered weakly, powered by something unseen. In the center of the room stood a holographic figure, flickering, unstable, but unmistakably humanoid. It turned toward her. "Captain," it said softly, "you've returned." Moxie's breath caught. "I'm not your captain." The hologram stepped closer, its form shifting like smoke. "You look like her. You sound like her. You came back for us." Moxie shook her head. I don't know who you think I am. The hologram flickered violently, its face distorting. You left us. You abandoned your crew. You let us die. Moxie stepped back. It wasn't me. I've never been here. The hologram's voice dropped to a whisper. Then why does the ship remember you? The lights dimmed. The door behind her slammed shut. On the shadow quest, Snipes paced the bridge, chewing on a snack bar. She's been gone too long. Banning rubbed his temples. It's only been 20 minutes. That's too long. What if she's stuck in a time loop, or possessed, or eaten by a space ghost? Aurora flickered. There is no evidence of ghosts. Snipes pointed dramatically. That's exactly what a ghost would want you to think. Banning sighed. Okay, we're going after her. Snipes pumped his fist. Yes! Ghost mission! Aurora dimmed. Statistically, this will be unpleasant. Inside the ghost ship, Moxie moved through the command deck as the hologram followed her, its form shifting between clarity and distortion. The ship groaned around her, metal creaking like bones settling. Tell me what happened, she said. The hologram hesitated. We were explorers, like you. We found something we should not have found, a signal, a voice. It promised knowledge, power, salvation. Moxie felt a chill. What did it give you? The hologram's eyes darkened. It gave us fear. The lights flickered. The walls seemed to pulse. Moxie whispered, This ship is alive. The hologram nodded. It remembers everything. It remembers the captain who tried to save us. It remembers the crew who begged for help. It remembers the moment she failed. Moxie swallowed hard. I'm not her. The hologram's voice softened. Then why do you carry her guilt? Moxie froze. The ship groaned again, louder this time. The floor vibrated beneath her feet. The hologram's form twisted, its face splitting into multiple expressions: fear, anger, sorrow. You left us, it whispered. You left them. Moxie's voice cracked. I didn't leave anyone. The hologram stepped closer. Then why do you run from your past? The room darkened. The walls shifted. The command deck dissolved into a long corridor lined with doors. Each door bore a symbol Moxie recognized, memories she had buried, missions she had survived, people she had lost. No, she whispered. Not here. Not now. The hologram gestured. Face them. Moxie clenched her fists. I don't need to prove anything to you. The hologram's voice echoed. You need to prove it to yourself. Meanwhile, Snipes and Banning crept through the derelict ship, Snipes holding a flashlight that flickered ominously. Why is it so dark? Snipes whispered. It's a derelict ship, Banning said. Snipes nodded. Right. Haunted. Not haunted. A distant clang echoed through the corridor. Snipes jumped. Haunted! Banning groaned. Snipes! A panel fell from the ceiling and hit Snipes on the head. Snipes yelped and drew his sidearm. The ghosts are attacking! Aurora flickered beside them. That was gravity! Snipes rubbed his head. Gravity is offensive. Moxie stood before one of the doors. Her hand trembled as she reached for it. The hologram watched silently. She opened the door. Inside was a memory she had tried to forget, a mission gone wrong, teammates she couldn't save, a moment where she had hesitated and paid the price. The room replayed the scene in perfect detail, the voices echoing, the fear palpable. Moxie whispered, Stop! The scene continued. Stop! She said louder. The hologram stepped beside her. You cannot change it! Moxie clenched her jaw. I can face it. She stepped into the memory, letting it wash over her. She watched her younger self make the same mistake, watched the consequences unfold. But this time, she didn't look away. When the memory ended, the room dissolved. The hologram nodded. You are not her, but you carry her strength. Moxie exhaled shakily. What do you want from me? The hologram's form softened. To let us go. The ship groaned again, louder, deeper. The walls shook. The lights flickered violently. The ship is dying, the hologram said. It has held our memories for too long. Release us. Moxie stepped forward. How? The hologram pointed down a long corridor. Shut down the core, free the memories, free us. Moxie hesitated. Will it hurt you? The hologram smiled faintly. We have been hurting for centuries. Moxie made her way down the corridor, passing the impatient spirits of the long-dead crew. When she got to the central core, she placed her hand on the control console. The ship screamed, a sound of metal, memory, and anguish. The lights flared, then dimmed. The hologram flickered. Thank you, dozens of voices whispered. The ship fell silent. Banning and Snipes burst into the command deck just as the lights died. Moxie! Banning shouted. Snipes tripped over a console. Ow! Ghosts! Moxie turned toward them, her face pale but calm. It's over! Banning rushed to her. Are you okay? She nodded. I faced something I needed to face. Snipes looked around nervously. Are the ghosts gone? Moxie smiled faintly. They were never ghosts. They were just people who needed to let go. Snipes pointed at the darkened hologram projector. Tell that to that thing. Aurora flickered. The ship's systems are offline. Whatever was here is gone. Snipes exhaled dramatically. Good. I hate haunted ships. Banning shook his head. It wasn't haunted. Snipes pointed at the ceiling. Then why did it make that noise? A panel fell and hit him again. Snipes yelped. See? Haunted! Moxie laughed softly, the sound echoing through the quiet room. Back aboard the Shadow Quest, Moxie stood alone at the viewport, watching the derelict ship drift away, its lights finally extinguished. She felt lighter, as though a weight she had carried for years had finally lifted. Banning approached quietly. You sure you're all right? Moxie nodded. I'm better than all right. Snipes burst into the room, holding a stack of ghost hunting equipment he had cobbled together. Okay, who wants to help me test my new ghost detector? Aurora flickered. That device is an electric toothbrush attached to a tuning fork. Snipes gasped. A haunted toothbrush. Moxie smiled. Snipes. Let it go. Snipes sighed. Fine, but if that ship shows up again, I'm ready. The Shadow Quest glided through calm space, its lights dimmed to a soft evening glow. Moxie had retreated to her quarters, finally allowing herself a moment of quiet after the ordeal aboard the ghost ship. Banning was reviewing logs, Aurora was recalibrating sensors, and for the first time in hours, the ship felt still, which meant, of course, that Snipes was up to something. He burst into the common room carrying his toothbrush ghost detector and what looked suspiciously like one of Aurora's spare hollow emitters duct-taped to the side. Everyone, Snipes announced, I have made a breakthrough in paranormal science. Banning didn't look up. No. Aurora flickered into the room. Snipes, that device is not scientifically sound. Snipes held it aloft like a sacred relic. That's what makes it genius? Moxie stepped in, still drying her hair from the shower. What now? Snipes puffed out his chest. My ghost detector works. Banning sighed. There are no ghosts. Snipes pointed dramatically at Moxie. Then explain why it beeped when she walked by. Moxie froze. What? Snipes clicked a switch. The device hummed, sparked, and emitted a long, warbling tone as he pointed it at her. Aurora scanned the device. It is detecting residual electromagnetic imprinting from the derelict ship, not ghosts. Snipes waved her off. Semantics. He turned the device toward the wall. It beeped again. Snipes gasped. A ghost cavity! Banning rubbed his temples. A what? Snipes tapped the device proudly. It doesn't just detect ghosts. It detects cavities in ghosts. Moxie stared. Ghosts have cavities? Snipes nodded solemnly. They do now. Aurora flickered. Snipes, that is not how physics works. Snipes grinned. That's why I'm patenting it. Banning choked. Your what? Snipes pulled out a data pad. I already filled out the application. Snipes Spectral Cavity Locator, SSL for short. Aurora dimmed. That acronym is already used for secure data encryption. Snipes shrugged. Well, now it's also for ghosts with dental problems. Moxie sat down, pinching the bridge of her nose. Snipes? Why would a ghost need a cavity detector? Snipes looked at her as if she had asked why stars shine. Because they deserve dental care, too. Aurora flickered. Ghosts do not have teeth. Snipes pointed at the device. Then why does it beep? The device sparked, beeped again, and shot a tiny puff of smoke. Aurora scanned it. Because you wired the toothbrush to the hollow emitter backwards. Snipes gasped. So it is haunted! Banning stood. Snipes, you are not patenting a haunted electric toothbrush. Snipes hugged the device protectively. You can't stop science. Aurora flickered beside him. I can disable the toothbrush. Snipes yelped. No, it's my masterpiece. Moxie finally laughed, a soft, tired sound that eased the last of the tension from her shoulders. Snipes, keep your haunted toothbrush. Just don't plug it into anything important. Snipes saluted. Aye, Captain. I'm not the captain. You are to the ghosts. Aurora dimmed. Statistically, this conversation is nonsense. Snipes pointed the device at her. It beeped loudly. Snipes gasped. Aurora, you have a ghost cavity. Aurora flickered. I do not. Snipes leaned in. Open wide. Aurora vanished. Banning sighed. Snipes, put the toothbrush away, or I'll take it away. Snipes clutched it tighter. Never! You'll have to pry it from my cold, dead hands. He ran down the corridor. The Shadow Quest drifted onward, carrying one commander, one warrior, one AI, and one man who had just invented the galaxy's first haunted dental appliance. And somewhere deep in the ship, the toothbrush beeped again, softly, ominously, and not entirely because Snipes had wired it wrong. End of episode 110. The missions of the Shadow Quest, the Ship of Fools, will continue.